Hello and welcome back to Fate Stay Night. My name is Maybe Dennis, and last time Shirou wakes up and he is like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I need to find Tosaka. I want to keep being in the fight, but I can't find her, so I'll go to the church and hopefully ask Kira. And where is he? Oh, there's blood on the ground. Oh my god, Caster, why are you here? I'm gonna run away. Nope, I die. I'm gonna fight. Nope, I die. Oh, nope, I die. So yeah, we're one of the routes. Shirou just kind of dies. Another route, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go around, search the city, and maybe try to find Tosaka. At the end, after hours of searching, he doesn't find her. In Tosaka's POV, she's at the graveyard, thinking about Archer's past again, and talking to Archer about a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're gonna have a really nice, trusting relationship. Afterwards, Shirou's like, you know, I'll go to the church. A few hours have passed, it should be fine. We go there just to see the confrontation between Tosaka and Archer versus Caster and Soichiro. In one ending, Shirou runs out. It's like, Leroy Jenkins, I'm gonna protect you, etc. I'll make an opening. And then Caster's like, oh, 3 versus 2 now. I'll make it 3 versus 3. And basically make Saber join the fight, and we get killed. Another one, Archer is like, you know what? I'll take your deal, Caster. I'll join your team. Your team's clearly the winning team. So Archer betrays Rin, and yeah, after a deal Archer made with Caster, they let us go. And the last scene that we saw today, or yesterday, or whatever, you know, I guess today in game, was a really nice scene between Shirou and Rin just talking about, I guess, their insecurities and about like what they're gonna do from now on, and Shirou's confession, and it was really cute. But today we're basically following up on that. Like, what are we gonna do? At the moment, it seems like we're going home. Tosaka just comes to our home very naturally now, and yeah, let's head into it. We're back in my place. I never thought that we'd make it back alive, so the tension on my shoulders relaxes as soon as I get into the living room. Alright, yeah, Shirou's not only just super injured from the stab from Saber yesterday, but also, he projected once more, and as a result, I think he's not in a very good state. I feel a bit dizzy and leaning against the wall. Idiot. Tosaka's right, but I think the last part was unnecessary. How many times did you call me an idiot today? I bet she set a new record today. New record! You know, one thing I do want to say is that, like, Tosaka spent some time saying how she's always failed at, like, the most important things. She'll do, like, the second or third most important things completely perfectly, but when it comes down to, like, the most important things, always can't really follow through. And I actually kind of like that she points that out, because we're told that she's like perfect, just like how we're told that Shinji is Shirou's friend and how he's super cool looking and he's really popular, even though everything suggests otherwise. But yeah, we're told that Tosaka's perfect, but what actually happened was the complete opposite, because she keeps messing up. And honestly, I still love her despite the fact that she does mess up, because it never really feels like it's her fault. It just, a lot of circumstances make it so that she's basically forced to fail. But I do like that the fact that she like acknowledges it, because a lot of times she's like, I don't fail, I am like a really good mage, I know how to do everything, but really she's like, nah. Nah, I messed up a lot and it really hurts. I try not to let it like get to me, but it's slowly getting to me. Tosaka's like, it's my turn. Shirou, strip. Don't worry, Shirou. I already saw everything. You didn't have my consent. I was unconscious, so I was only causing an inconvenience to Tosaka. It's kind of late, but like one thing that does bother me a little bit, and you know, it's not like that big of an issue, but a lot of times in this game, they'll have a line read out and then immediately like blank out to show that their expression is changing, and then like go back to the line. And although it's not like it's to show that yeah, their facial expression is changing, it sometimes kind of takes me out of it, because I'm like, I start reading and then suddenly the text is gone for like 2 seconds and then it goes back. How unfair. I can't complain if she tells me with a face like that. It burns! Ow! I give up and sit down. Seeing that my clothes are stained with blood, Tosaka gives up taking it off and starts cutting it right away. She then quickly but carefully takes off the bandages. It must have been bad, as Tosaka slightly gasped. Ooh. But I'm troubled as well. It's so embarrassing having her stare at my body so closely. I know. Ow! It hurts to laugh. She talks abusively, yet gently touches my wound. I thought we were about to get a CG. Damn, I'm getting dizzy for a different reason. I was calm even when we were at that close earlier, but now my heart is unstable. I don't know where to look. I mutter inside and hit my boiled head, but it does no good. The temperature inside my head will keep going up if we stay like this. Yeah, go away. You're bad for my health. I'm best. You stupid idiot. Ugh. Slapping sound. Oh my god, that was right on the wound. What was that for? Also slapped me on my wound without mercy. Oh, that was right on the wound. Yes. Saying that, she takes out something that looks like a homemade ointment. You carry that with you? No promises. Reckless is my middle name. She applies the jelly-like substance on my wound. The jerky-like substance for an ointment would be pretty painful. It looks really suspicious, but Tosaka is treating me seriously. And I think after like the last episode, oh yeah, I really like Tosaka. Oh man, I've mentioned this so many times, but like, I've always had a problem with the Unlimited Blade Wars route because I can't really talk about it now because it'd be spoilers. But there's a reason why for me, it never really felt as like Tosaka's route as much as it felt like someone else's route, and we'll go into that later. But for me, it felt like that took away from the spotlight on Tosaka. But now playing the visual novel, no, there's a lot of spotlight on Tosaka. You get to really get to know her, what she's like outside of just being a good partner and a mage. She skillfully wraps the bandages around the wound. I'm not praising her, but her wrapping is much better than mine.
Thank you, Tosaka.
I thank her, trying not to make eye contact. Oh my gosh, she's blushing so much now. Finishing the treatment, Tosaka stands up. Then, I don't know why, but she heads straight to the kitchen. Food! Am I seeing things? She's checking inside the fridge and the rice cooker. Oh right, she's actually supposed to be a pretty good cook. In the Fate route, she actually cooked some Chinese food, and everyone was like, damn, this is good. It's even better than Shirou's. But in this route, the only thing that we know that she's able to cook are, sandwiches, and does making sandwiches count as cooking? I guess depending on what the ingredients are. Sometimes it's just assembling, but sometimes cooking is required. Either way, he's about to get some homemade girlfriend cooking. Even though, are they official yet? I don't know.
私も食べてないのよ。だからとりあえず夕食。
ああ、それは見ればわかる。けど、どうしてこの状況で夕飯なんだ？
Because food. You need to eat food.
人間空腹でまともな案が浮かぶわけないでしょ。
And Tosaka declares while glaring at the inside of the refrigerator. Damn, it's all Japanese food. You got any Western stuff? The sound of clashing tableware echoes. It's past 10 p.m. I don't know how it ended up like this, but I'm eating a late dinner with Tosaka in the living room. By the way, dinner was made by both of us. Princess Tosaka. Alright, Princess Tosaka. Alright. Want to eat Japanese cuisine, but she didn't even know how to make miso soup. Oh, wow. Okay. It really makes me worried what our school is teaching the girls in cooking class. Man, I really wish I had a cooking class. We never had cooking classes growing up here. Tosaka focuses on her meal. She must be hungry as her bowl is almost empty. But I don't have much of an appetite right now. It's partly because this isn't the time to be eating, but more so because I haven't said it yet. I haven't expressed my thoughts to Tosaka, who told me that as she left. Oh, okay. This is from before, but for a second I thought this was like her saying it now. I'm like, I don't know, it's a little bit too late for that. I put my chopsticks down and look at Tosaka.
Nani?
あれから考えたんだ。俺がこの戦いを始めた理由を。一体何がしたかったのかってこと。
それで?
What is it? What is it? She urges me and sips on her miso soup. It puts my spirit down, but I put strength into my abdomen, refusing to lose.
初めは巻き込まれたからだった。そしてマスターになった以上はこの戦いをどうにかしたかった。けどマスターになったとか巻き込まれたとかそんなのは関係がない。俺は正義の味方が好きなんだ。だからみんなを守らないと。マスターなんてどうでもいい。マスターでなくなってもセイバーがいなくなっても戦うことには変わりはない。
I said, ready for Tosaka's rebuttal. But Tosaka...
So...
you know, I can kind of tell after I told you to quit and then you showed up at the church with frickin' swords. Gives an absent-minded answer and finishes the food in her bowl.
あのな、Tosaka。人が真面目に話してるんだからちゃんと。
聞いてるわよ。シローは一人でも戦うのよね。死ぬような目に遭うより死ぬような目に遭ってしまう人がいるっていう事実が耐えられない。だからどんなに自分が弱くても戦うことに決めたんでしょ。
She looks straight at me. Seems like there's something really loud outside my apartment and it's like someone's constantly has a windblower on, so if you hear that, I am sorry. She looks straight at me, as if she's seen through a part of me that even I don't know about with integrity, and approves of me fighting. Yeah. How'd you know that?
何よその顔。リスが砂糖菓子舐めたような顔して。
What kind of expression is that? I've never heard of a squirrel that has licked sugar. Is that a good thing? Are they happy?
いや、だって、Tosakaは反対するかと思って。
I guess they are.
してるわよ、もちろん。けど、あれだけ見事に助けられたんだから、シローに文句なんて言えないでしょ。
And I'm not about to quit either.
それにさ、どんなに止めたって、あんたはそういうやつなんだって分かっちゃったし。
Tosaka averts her gaze a bit. I don't know why, but anyway. We're friends, right?
まあね、仕方ないから付き合ってあげる。だいたいあんたみたいなのを一人にしてたら不安で眠れないし、それに。
She takes a deep breath. After getting ready for some reason.
シローに言えば。私もシローのこと嫌いじゃないし。
I don't hate you, Bach. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's the tsundere in her. Give me some rice. Wait, what does that say on the thing? It says Mu something Neko? Oh, I can't see it right now.
私はそういうわけだし、そっちだって一緒にいても問題ないでしょ、実際。
Osaka hands me her bowl. I like the CG, it's so cute. How long did it take for me to realize that she's asking for seconds?
ああ、もちろん。遠坂がどんなに横暴でも望むところだ。
I take the bowl, open the rice cooker, swing the rice paddle, and hand it back to her with an extra portion.
いいけど、お腹減ってるし、ご飯美味しいし。
I want you to make me miso soup every morning. Osaka starts eating the mountain of rice. I let out a smile. I bet I'm eating with a really happy expression. But, oh, he's about to laugh. Oh my god, he hasn't laughed in ages. Yes. But I can't put my smile away even if I'm aware. I'm so happy right now. So let me smile like a fool for a while. So sweet. Oh my god. So cute. Well, now that we're drinking tea together after dinner.
つまり投影には投影なりの限度ってものがあるわけ。一見イメージを形にするっていう何でもありに見えるけど、投影にはいろいろと独自のルールがある。その制約の中で一番わかりやすいのは投影物の損傷、存在における強度ってやつよ。
Okay, so it seems like we're going to practice projection, which is very good since it seems like Shirou's very good at it, and well, it'll be another weapon added to his arsenal. Osaka puts a finger while she drinks her tea.
存在における強度。何？幻想なるものの存在に耐えられない軽さってやつ。
I sip on my green tea and tilt my head in response.
何も知らないようでいてつまんない言葉知ってるのね、あなた。けどまあ当たらずとも遠からずかな。投影は自己のイメージからそれに沿った本物を完璧に複製する。これに例外はないわ。自分の中で完璧でなければ投影はできない。新作の影である以上、一部の隙も許されないのが投影魔術よ。
Oh, wow. I guess that's what tracing is for, because when you trace something, you kind of understand perfectly how this thing is made, or like what this thing comprises of.
だから基本的に投影によって生み出されたものは自己のイメージ通りの強度を持つわ。幻想という点においてはこの時点で完璧なのよ。加えて投影する術者のイメージ、知識が本物に近ければ近いほど現実においても完璧になるわけ。
ちょっと待った。それはおかしい。俺、アーチャーの剣を投影しただろ。けど、それはクズキに壊された。
You didn't think they were strong enough.
いくらクズキの拳にキャスターの強化がかかってるからって防具を壊せるほどじゃない。
Is that considered a noble phantasm? I'm gonna quickly look at Archer's thing and see if it's listed under his noble phantasm. No. It's not listed under skill either, so...
ってことは、俺が投影したアーチャーの干渉と爆矢はオリジナルに数段劣るってことじゃないのか。
はい、いいところに気がつきました。
Aw, good job, Shirou.
それが投影の限界、存在における強度ってやつよ。
Oh, so it's as strong as you can imagine it to be, but the upper limit is how strong it actually is.
いい？投影はあくまで投影、想像じゃない。投影を作り上げるのは術者のイメージだけだから、イメージそのものにほころびが生じたとき、本物と同じ性能であろうと無産するの。
イメージにほころびが生じる？それも変じゃないか。イメージが間違っていたらそもそも投影はできないんだろう。
That's actually a good point, because Rin was talking about how you can only project something that you understand perfectly, but if you don't understand the strength of it perfectly, then how would it be weaker than the original?
ええ、だからほころびが生じるのは投影した後になるわ。
Oh.
そうね。例えばシローが絶対に折れない名剣を投影したとするでしょ。
The sword of promised victory. I nod. Osaka nods in satisfaction.
けど絶対に折れない剣なんてものはない。その剣の表現方法、伝承、売り文句などに絶対に折れないというパーソナリティがあるだけで、実際はそれを上回る幻想にぶつかれば刃こぼれぐらいするし、折れることだってある。
それ、折れた時点で俺のイメージが間違っていたってことにならないか。俺は折れない剣を作ったんだから。
ならない。投影が成功した時点で形の上での間違いはないんだし、 そもそも折れない剣なんて名前みたいなものでしょ。実際に折れない剣なんてないんだから。
Every sword breaks. No matter how, the only thing that won't break is your love for swords.
けどシロ、あなたがイメージしたものは絶対に折れない剣よね。これが現実で折れちゃった場合、投影されたものは嘘になるのよ。それは剣が折れたからじゃないわ。あなたがイメージしたものは折れない剣。それが折れてしまった時点で、シロの中の折れない剣と今折れてしまった剣は別物になる。
Oh, when you project something, you're copying it, but you also, when you try to add attributes like it's unbreakable, but it has broken in the past, then it just creates a contradiction. So you're projecting something, you're copying something, but you're copying something that's different.
あなたと現実。
And then it's like, well, something's wrong, so I'm just gonna break it. So, to sum it up.
よし、つまり俺は折れない剣を想像して投影した。けど実際に投影した剣は戦闘中に折れてしまった。その時点で俺自身がその剣を、なんだよ、実際は折れちまうじゃないかこの剣と否定してしまって、結果として投影したものは消えるってことか。そのイメージの齟齬によって。
冴えてるじゃない。ええ、つまりはそういうこと。
Feels really weird. It feels like you project it and it becomes Schrodinger's sword. And then it's like, is it unbreakable? Is it not? I'll just say it's unbreakable. But once it breaks, you find out that it breaks. You're like, oh, and it just vanishes from existence because it shouldn't have been like that.
あなたはアーチャーの剣を投影した。あなたの中であれがどんな位置づけだったかは知らないけど、シロ自身はクズキの攻撃で壊れるような剣をイメージしてはいなかった。けど実際に剣は破壊されてしまった。その時点であなたはその剣をこんなのはアーチャーの剣じゃないと思ってしまったのよ。で、作り上げられた投影は術者の否定によって存在強度を失い、元の空想に戻ったってわけ。
So projecting is kind of like believing in a lie, and once you realize it is a lie, then it kind of disappears and it's like, oh crap. I see. Even projected weapons can break. But it's not the enemy that makes the projected weapon disappear, but yourself. When the difference between your image and reality becomes too big to amend, the projected weapon disappears. Most of all, it is because the one who created it stopped believing in that illusion.
わかった？だから投影魔術はまず設計図から入るの。あとは材質と性質、歴史なんかも考慮すべきね。そのあたりから固めていけば、多少現実でイメージと違ってもすぐに消えるなんてことはないでしょ。
So basically, make it as accurate as possible, and if that is how it turns out, you won't think it's fake. And then if you don't think it's fake, then it won't disappear from reality. Okay.
それならなぜそれを作る気になったのかってのが最初じゃないか。
Because you have to lie to yourself to make it real.
材料と技法だけじゃダメだ。今日の夕飯だってまず遠坂が和風が食べたいって言ったから始まっただろ。なら創作する上での発端から始めないと。
Oh my god, food is relevant. Oh, Hosaka's stunned. Hosaka stares at me. Okay, wait, what? What did Shirou say? That was weird. I sip my tea and tilt my head in wonder.
まあ、なんでこんな話になったんだ。
What are we doing?
そういえばそうよね。私たち確か今後の作戦を話し合ってたような。
Nah, we started this conversation just by talking about projection. We didn't talk about strategy or nothing. Yeah, that's right. As we were talking about what we should do moving forward, Tosaka
シロ、本格的に投影魔術をやってみない？
said an irresponsible thing like that.
思い出した。不確定な要素に希望を持っちゃうぐらい行き詰まってたんだっけ。
まあそうだな。第一、俺の投影なんて剣を作れる程度だ。それも今まで役に立ったことなんてないんだから大した戦力にならないだろう。
Come on, I know you can project that sword that was in your dreams. The Excalibur. Ooh, she's looking at me with the weird eyes again. Wonder why she makes that expression when we talk about projection magecraft.
まあいいわ。もう一度状況を確認しましょう。目下のところ、敵はキャスター。あいつだけなら大したことはないけど、白兵戦に長けたマスターと、あっち側についたアーチャーに守られている限り手は出せないわ。加えて、セイバーが操られるのも時間の問題。 状況は刻一刻と悪くなっていくわけだけど。
ああ、けど、アーチャーはともかく、セイバーはまだキャスター
Hang
の
in there,
自由に
Saber.
はなっていない。
Hang in there.
それが勝機といえば勝機だろう。セイバーが完全にキャスターの軍門に下ったら、それこそ俺たちに勝ち目はない。
Besides, I won't let that happen. He told me to run for the sake of Saber, who said that while crying, I can't let Caster have her way.
そういうことね。それじゃあ意見のある人は挙手。シロ、なんかいいアイデアある？
Man, I don't know. So Caster has 4 servants. She has Caster, Saber, Archer, and Assassin. I don't know if Assassin counts though, because Assassin is, from what I understand, tied to the Ryudo Temple. He can't really like leave that spot. But still, that is like over half of the servants summoned for the Holy Grail War. So, I mean, there's clearly nothing that Rin and Shirou can do by themselves, you know? A plan that will be the solution to the current situation. If there's a way to oppose Caster, it's... Oh, we have 3 choices. Oh, there's no such thing. Let's break through from the front and frickin' die.
策なんてもうないだろう。こうなったら、小細工なしで真っ向から勝負するだけだ。
I stare at Tosaka straight on with the intensity in my eyes.
で、
So?
一応聞いておくけど、それ本気？
This is intense. Tosaka has suppressed astonishment and is seriously angry.
すまん。勢いで口にした。考えなしで面目ない。
You stupid idiot.
ええ、本当にね。一瞬、今からでも手を切るべきか、本気で悩んだじゃない、バカ。
You know, fair, because doing something that's suicidal is not exactly great to have as a partner.
はいはい、どうせバカですよ。けど、そういう遠坂はどうなんだよ。なんか打開策とか？
まあ、そりゃ一つぐらいはあるけど、言っていいの？
なんだよ。珍しく弱気じゃないか。
Oh wait, the music changed.
考えがあるなら言えばい
Okay,
い
no,
だろ
never mind. I thought maybe we proceeded to the next option.
遠坂の意見ならちゃんと聞くぞ、俺。そりゃ、納得いかなかったら反対するけど。
それなら言うけど、私だけじゃキャスターに勝てないのは明白でしょ？だからこっちも戦力を増やすの。
So the remaining servants are... It's just Berserker and Lancer, if you think about it, because outside of those 6, it's just Rider who's already dead.
あっちはサーバントを3体も保有しているんだから、こっちも1人はサーバントがいないと話にならない。
戦力を増やすって、じゃあ他のマスターに助けを求めるのか？
助けじゃなくて共闘よ。キャスターがあそこまで強くなった以上、他のマスターも黙っていられないでしょ。聖杯が欲しいのなら、一番強い相手を協力して倒して、その後でピンに戻ればいい。こういうのバトルロイヤルの定石でしょ。
True. So making an alliance with the remaining masters to defeat Caster's operation that has become too powerful, right?
なるほど。交渉次第で協力関係は作れるかもな。となると。
ええ、残るマスターは2人。
Yep.
ランサーのマスターとバーサーカーのマスターね。ランサーのマスターは不明のままだから交渉のしようもないけど、バーサーカーのマスターであるイリアスフィールなら可能性はあるかもしれない。
Berserker's master. Yacha it! The girl in white and the rock-like giant I met on the first day. Her actions were dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel.
そうだな。あの子なら話し合いに応じてくれそうだ。見返りに無茶な条件も出してきそうにないし。
Oh man, he really doesn't know her. I mean, to be fair, in this route, he's met her one time.
バカ、シローにとっちゃあいつが一番ヤバいのよ。あいつ、初めっからシローしか見てなかったもの。私はともかく、あんたはどんな目に遭わされるか分かったもんじゃないわよ。
なんだよそれ。俺はあの子と一度しか会ってないんだ。そんなことになるわけないだろう。どかし。
そんなことになったら交渉なんてハケに決まってるじゃない。バカ。
And she looks away, then chugs her tea.
けど、今はイリアスフィールにかけるしかないわね。キャスターの正体がアーチャーの言う通りなら、間違いなくバーサーカーは天敵だし、
I mean, Berserker is like the natural enemy for almost all the servants here because he's so freaking strong.
何しろ生前の知り合いだもの。キャスターの手口なんて知り尽くしてるでしょ。バーサーカーならキャスターとアーチャーが同時に攻めてきても追い返せる。私たちはその間にクズキ一人を攻略すればいい。
Let's take a quick look. So, do we have Caster's name here? We still don't have her confirmed as Princess Medea for some reason. If we look at Berserker, we don't have his name either. So how does she know that he's Hercules and that Medea and Hercules know each other?
そりゃ理想論だけど、トサカ、キャスターはバーサーカーと関係があるのか？
ええ、アーチャーが言ってたのよ。
Oh, okay.
バーサーカーの正体はヘラクレスだって。
Okay, okay. So glad they explained that.
キャスターが本当にあの希代の魔女なら、アルゴー戦つながりでバーサーカーとは面識があるかもしれない。
Argonauts.
私が綺麗に苦手意識を持つのと同じ。世の中にはね、どうしたって苦手なやつっているもんなのよ。
Oh, but Tosaka, I'm sure that anyone would dislike that priest.
じゃあ決まりだな。けどどうやってあの子を見つけようか。あれ以来出てこないけど、あれだけの魔力を持ってるなら隠れていようと見つけ出せるだろう。なのに見つからないってことは、この町にはいないってことじゃないのか。
でしょうね。イリアスフィールはずっと遠くから聖杯戦争を眺めて楽しんでるんでしょ。
ずっと遠く？キャスターみたいに竜道寺から町を監視してるのか？
さあ、けどどこにいるかは見当がつく。
We're going back to the castle,
昔
boys.
父さんから聞いたことがあるのよ。アインツベルンは郊外の森に別荘を持ってるって。
I was gonna say how would her father know, but when I kind of forgot that like the Einsburns, the Makiri, and the Tosakas all work together for this ritual. So the Einsburns have had a villa here for supposedly quite a while. Yeah, she says with a tense voice. A villa that stands in the forest on the outskirts. I can tell how dangerous that place will be just from far away. Wait, just from the way that Tosaka's acting. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I can reload. Yep, nap time. Alright, we can't break through from the front. Is there any secret passage in the church? It'll end up just like today if we fight them head on. Since we're inferior in terms of fighting capabilities, or ability, we can only execute a surprise attack on Caster's blind side in order to win.
なあ、トサカはコドミネと師弟の関係なんだろう。なら、あの教会については詳しいんじゃないのか。
そりゃ何度か泊まったことはあるけど。ってはあ、そういうこと。
Alright, Tosaka knew about the underground passage. I wonder if it was the same way that Shirou found out about it, like there was a trail of blood. But if she actually knew about that underground passage, does that mean that she knows about the bodies of the orphans? Not bodies, you know, because that's implying that they're dead, but the orphans that have been being kept alive to extract their magical energy. Does she know about that?
せっかくのアイデアだけど、あの教会に秘密の通路なんてないわ。あの地下聖堂だって初めてだったし、仮にあったとしても、そんなの綺麗しか知らないわよ。
Oh, okay, there we go.
あいった。
Man, I give up.
くそ、やっぱりそんな都合よくいかないか。あの神父のことだから、それぐらいは用意してると思ったんだけどな。
I mean, maybe he did. He's just hiding it.
まあね。けど利用できない以上、他の手を考えるしかない。その例えばのアイデアなんだけど、聞いてもらえる？
ああ、そりゃ聞くけど、なんかアイデアあるのか？
I think this is where she'll just introduce that idea of teaming up with another master.
ええ、いいシロー。私だけじゃキャスターに勝てないのは明白でしょ？
This will be the same as the other route, probably.
あっちはさ。
Yeah.
他のマスターに。
I'll fast forward through this and then I'll go back. See ya.
バトルロイヤルの
And here, time to choose. It's impossible with just the two of us. We'll cooperate with other masters. The right answer. If we look at the flowchart, we don't get points, but we see Rin's smile. Kinda cute. They aren't opponents that we can take on by ourselves. There are 3 enemies. We need at least one more person to cooperate with us. And in that case, our choices are limited. People who are also mages and have a reason to fight Caster. That is none other than another master.
トサカ、怒らないで聞いてくれ。その 他のマスターとは協力できないかな。
いいわ。その心は口にするからには何か算段があるんでしょ。
It's time for you to explain what I explained in the past 2 routes.
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが、今のキャスターの状態は他のマスターにとっても無視できないだろう。なら今回だけってことで手を組めるかもしれないと思って。
ええ、実は私も同じことを考えてた。てっきりシロを反対すると思ってたから黙ってたんだけどね。
She says with a reluctant expression. She must not like the idea deep down, but she knows that that's the only option we have.
となると残るマスターは2人。ランサーのマスターとバーサーカーのマスターね。ランサーのマスターは不明のままだから交渉のしようもないけど、バーサーカーのマスターであるイリアスフィールなら可能性はあるかもしれない。
Berserker's master. The girl in white and the rock-like giant I met on the first day. Her actions were dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel. Alright, yeah, this is gonna be the same parts. Alright, I'll see you at the end. I go back to my room and lie down. Sleepiness spreads to my whole body as soon as I do. I stare at the dark ceiling. We're going to go to Ilias Field, the girl in white's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that will become a trial of strength. Tosaka suggested that we take a nap before we head over, since we won't be able to achieve good results if we go with tired bodies.
夜明けまであと5時間。そうなったら、あの子と話し合いをしなくちゃならない。
The young master that appeared in front of us on the night I became a master. Your saber is an excellent servant in all aspects. The berserker is specialized when it comes to battle. There's no servant that can match berserker simply in terms of battle.
そんな相手とどう話し合えばいい？
Saying it makes me believe that it's impossible to negotiate with them. However, hi, I'm a little girl. Definitely. Strangely, I don't feel any uneasiness. I feel like that Ilya kid will understand if we talk to her. Just like Tosaka, I'm sure that she can differentiate her enemies and allies as a mage, but I still feel that she's a decent kid in that regard. In a different regard.
まだ話したこともないくせに、希望的観測にも程がある。
I bet she would flame me, saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing that? Is it weird to have hope for someone who you don't know and are about to meet? Oh god, I realized I'm gritting my teeth. The man that told me to drown my ideals betrayed Tosaka in front of my eyes. A guy with that much trust and power changed his beliefs that easily. I feel my heart start to sink. No, is it freezing? My mind freezes just thinking back at his actions. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka out of all people. I can't forgive him for abandoning his ally out of all people. I will never be like that. Even if that had been the very best action to survive and it ends up being the correct path, I will never do something like that. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I rebelled against him when he said that I can't save everything. Even then, I agreed somewhere in my heart. His words are correct. The hero of justice that my old man talked about was just a pipe dream, and I accepted the fact that I have to become like him if I want to get as close to that ideal as possible. I've been denying it, even though I had accepted it in my mind. But this time isn't that kind of level. I can't accept him. I can't accept the action that he took, no matter the circumstance. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve. I can't lose to you, even though you're a servant and you're really strong. My words don't disperse into the night and remain in my room. A few more hours until dawn. I keep repeating those words in my mud-like slumber. Okay, yep, we're going on to the next day, so time to negotiate with Ilya. We are at February 12th. Chapter 13, Unlimited Blade Works versus Berserker. Aw, fudge, we're gonna have to fight Berserker? Oh, we're starting off with an old-fashioned interlude. Unlimited Blade Works, 13-1. We're back at this church again. She ponders in the darkness by herself. It has already been a day since she attacked the church and killed the priest. Okay, we're in Caster's POV. It has been a day since she declared that she will find it no matter where it is hidden, if it exists. It may not be the case for other servants, but there's no way someone as versed in magecraft as her cannot find a holy relic like the Holy Grail. Then there's only one answer. It's not here! The Holy Grail never existed in this church to start with. Letting out a small sigh, she puts her finger on her temple. When she closes her eyes, the heavy darkness weighs heavily on her whole body. That is simply a scream. It's not someone else's. The scream comes from her body and mind, telling her that she is in a critical state of fatigue. It has already been a month since she was summoned. During that time, she has done her best just to win. Her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit, and she herself is the weakest of the servants. In order to make up for that shortcoming, she abused magecraft that was prohibited. She has been exploiting the citizens. She's been manipulating the ley line using human sacrifices and the threads of magical energy that she placed throughout the town. That is the cause for why she was called a witch when she was alive. But she had never used them before. She should have never used them, and she had no intention of doing the forbidden. So, why did she end up using them for such a meaningless kill fest? She became a holy spirit for her own revenge. However, she understands that it is meaningless to use magecraft that diminished her to being a witch. She only uses trivial magecraft. It was her creed to inflict certain curses that people refer to as disasters. They could cause people to destroy themselves with their own greed and return to their true selves. That was all the revenge that she could manage. So what caused her to stray from her path so much? All for the Holy Grail! Shirou was like saying, how could you do this? You're a heroic spirit, you're supposed to be a hero, why are you killing so many people? He was like, yeah, the Holy Grail may be cray cray, haha brr! That is a lie. She knows the true identity of the Holy Grail. She has known what the thing is and for what objective servants like her are summoned for a long time. It is true that most wishes can be granted by the Holy Grail that appear in this town. It could allow her to stay in this world as a physical entity instead of a heroic spirit, thereby allowing her to live a second life as a human. However, she mutters and closes her eyes. She empties her mind. For a moment, she temporarily lets her guard down and rests her mind. She hears the sound of rain. It was a moonless night. Her empty heart wanders in the surrounding pitch-black darkness. That is where she met him. Oh, is this her thinking about the past? Ooh, oh, whoops, I did something by accident. So I kind of want to look at the servant. So are we still not... Okay, we're still not updating that. I don't know why. With the bloody body and frozen limbs, the coincidence was a miracle amongst miracles. Yeah, this is her past. It took place at the mountain that houses Ryudo Temple. Falling rain. She wanders aimlessly in the gloomy, dense forest. She leaves behind a trace of blood. In her hand is a dagger that breaks contracts. The purple robe was wet from the rain, and her limbs had turned white from the winter rain. She staggers around, holding onto the tree for support. She walked on, dirty with mud, her breath ragged, reaching out her hand as if asking for help. She did not look like her usual self that is always composed. No, there were not even any remnants of magical energy. She's exhausted. There's only a fistful of magical energy left in her. For a servant, magical energy is like the body that allows them to exist. But she was losing all her magical energy because her master was not supplying her with any. But that was only natural. She killed her own master just now. Okay, I can say this now. So, in the first route, in the Fate route, when Caster said that she killed her master, that is not incorrect, but it's not exactly what we know. So what happened was that, well, we're about to find out. This is the sole cause for her exhaustion. She, the servant known as Caster, was trying to disappear in this mountain as compensation for obtaining freedom. A dry laugh. It's funny that her body is falling apart after she stabbed her vulgar master in the back. Moreover, it is also funny how she underestimated her connection with her master. She had done well. Her master was a legitimate master. He was in his 30s, had average build, and didn't have many notable characteristics. He didn't have any intention to fight, but dreamed only of winning. He was a man that only waited for the self-destruction of the other masters in the shadows. The man didn't trust Castor. He disliked Castor as a skilled mage, and he insulted her for being inferior to the other servants. She gave up on him after a few days. She acted like as an obedient servant and continued to fulfill the man's self-esteem. As a result, she made him use up his command spells on simple, meaningless things. She told him he did not need his command spells. She made him believe that she would pledge her loyalty to her master even without the command spells. In conclusion, it was his fault for believing her. The master used his 3 command spells on meaningless things and he was killed by Castor at that moment. It was easy. It was unpleasant for her contract with the man to still exist, so she finished him off with the contract breaker. Breaker! But she had made a mistake. Servants exist using the supply of magical energy from their master. But it isn't just about obtaining magical energy. Servants are only allowed to exist in this age because they are connected to a human from this age. In other words, to lose one's master, their passport to this age, means being deported to the outside world. However, one will not normally be this exhausted. This is the curse that her master left. Her master did not approve of Castor, a mage that is more skilled than him. Therefore, he always kept her magical energy supply at a level below his own. Oh wow. You literally summon a servant and then you nerf your own fucking servant? You're so stupid. The amount of magical energy that a human possesses is not enough to keep a heroic spirit in this world. She would normally be able to last 2 days even if she lost her own master, but this time is different. Her magical energy was drastically decreasing with every second, and she started to see the end. Probably a few more minutes. She will disappear if she doesn't find the next master to make a contract with. She's going to disappear before she could even fight, as a pitiful servant that got summoned just to be trampled on, unable to accomplish anything at all. It was vexing. It was vexing. It was not a big deal, because it was always like that. She was always treated unfairly. She was always someone else's tool, and she was never understood by anyone. Ooh. Yes. Her life was always controlled by someone else's. Her mind was destroyed at a young age in order to save Jason, a hero chosen by the gods. Just for the sake of the hero, the goddess of beauty happened to favor. The goddesses cursed her to blindly love the man that she didn't even know. With a blank mind, she betrayed her father and even her own country. She has no recollection of anything that happened afterwards. After everything was over, the girl, who was a princess, was in an unfamiliar country. The girl who betrayed her father, the king, for a man. The witch who cuts apart her own brother and mercilessly threw the pieces into the sea. The man who wished for that in order to become the king cast her aside, saying that he could not marry a witch. That is so messed up. Honestly, there are a lot of things in Greek mythology that just end up being so messed up. She was taken to an unfamiliar country while still being manipulated, was labeled as a witch, and the only person she could rely on threw her away. That is her origin. She had nothing to be blamed for, and the people around her understood that. Despite that, the people still demanded that she continue to play the role of a witch. An evil to protect the king, an evil to be on the receiving end of the dark superstitions. They wanted a convenient scapegoat that they could blame for any disaster. That system hasn't changed. Humans desire an easily understandable evil so that they can reassure themselves of their own goodness. In that regard, she was the perfect scapegoat. The father she could rely on was in a distant country. There was not a single person who defended her, so the people could comfortably blame her for things. Oh, we got these faces again. How they are poor. How they hate others. How people are ugly. Even how people die. They decided that everything was that witch's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault I'm ugly, yeah. That's why she just accepted it. Since she can only live as a witch, she decided to live like a witch, which is why she was also extremely offended when Archer and Shirou called her a witch. She just swore that she would show them how ugly the thing that they desire and celebrated was. If people do not know their ugliness, then so be it. They can stay ignorant, go to hell for their own crimes, and suffer forever. They will not be able to get out of hell. They can only suffer as criminals for the rest of their lives since they do not know what crimes they have committed. That is the meaning of existence she has imposed for herself. The role that they gave to the girl who had been called a witch and never had free will. Aww. Honestly, the Greek gods had done a lot of really, not just sus, but really like scummy stuff as well. But something like that, it's not something that someone wished for. That is the same for her. She just continues to seek revenge without any wishes of her own. Yes, until she met the stranger at this moment. A rustling sound. She glares ahead while struggling to remain conscious. It is midnight. What kind of human would come to the forest? It was a heavy voice. She did not even have the composure to check who it was. She just thought that it was all over. She had no power to use magecraft. Her purple robes may have looked like a coat, but she was covered in blood from the waist down. It's okay. I don't really care about blood. A woman covered in blood is hiding in this rain. It was obvious what this human would do just from seeing that. They would run away first. What would they do after that? They would either report it or pretend they hadn't seen it. Either way, it did not matter to her, as she could not move as she wanted to. That caused the last of her spirit to give out. Her final moment was lonely and cold, just like the end of her true lifetime. Or so she thought. When she regained her consciousness, it was at that place. Oh, Soichi was like, I got you, girl. I'll bring you to the temple, even though I mean, he does live here. I don't know how long he's actually lived here for. I think they may have said it, but I don't remember. Sitting in front of her was that human, the man she met in the woods. Those were his first words, when she watched the man with blank amazement. The man tells her in a tone of voice that doesn't change. That was how she met her master, Soichiro Kuzuki. Kuzuki was a strange man. Should he be called a ghost? He had no reason to live, but he had no reason to die. He was just there, and since he existed, he just did what was given to him. He had no self. That was her first impression of him, so she thought that it would be easy to turn him into a puppet. He gradually realized that that was a mistake. Soichiro Kuzuki has no past. He has no self because he has no past, but that does not mean that Kuzuki himself is empty. In reality, Kuzuki was a sincere man. He easily accepted her when she told him she wanted him to be her master, and when she reveals her identity. Of course, if she replies to him that it's the truth, then he would accept it. He was able to stay in this world by gaining a new master, and was able to return to her role as a witch. Aww. It's kind of sad because like she's, even though we see Caster do a whole lot of scummy stuff, it's one of those situations where it's like her past was so bad that like once you learn about it, you kind of forget that she's done like a lot of terrible stuff. I mean, doesn't exactly justify all of it because she's caused so much pain in this town. And honestly, she's still kind of evil. But like, she's just been abused so much, and actually like having someone care about her like this, I don't know how much he actually cares about her, but having someone accept her rather than just use her, she finally starts to see the light. Even now, she thinks that was a miracle. She would have disappeared before she awakened if she had not been taken to the Ryudo Temple. Oh wow, it's like, yep, I happened to take you to this wonderful place. Ryudo Temple is a demonic place for servants, but is a perfect place for summoning once inside. The bounded field that surrounded Ryudo Temple is useful for keeping any human beings from inside from disappearing. She was saved right before she was going to disappear because she was brought to the Ryudo Temple. If it had been a different place, she would have vanished after being taken there. As a result, she found the best ley line and impregnable fortress defense. She was easily able to take over Ryudo Temple, figured out the mechanism of the Holy Grail, and summoned Assassin as the fifth servant. But such things are trivial matters. She was certainly lucky that night. Many miracles saved her, and now her victory is within her sight. But none of it is worth her thanks. If there were nothing, she would have been just as content to give up. There's just one thing that was really important. A very small matter that is not important for anyone else. The coincidence that she was able to meet Soichiro Kuzuki is a miracle beyond belief. Aww. What a cute little love story. But yeah, I'm going to talk about Caster from the Fate route. So when Caster approached and said that she killed her master, that was the situation. She killed her initial master, which was the 30-year-old kind of douchebag. And later on, she wandered around and ended up finding Soichiro Kuzuki. But what actually, I had to end up looking this up because I never got an answer. But what ended up happening was, I'm not sure if it was the night of or before, but when or before she attacked Shirou and Saber that night, it seems that Kuzuki and Assassin were both killed. I believe, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I believe they were probably killed by Archer or Gilgamesh. But yeah, she didn't actually kill Kuzuki. She killed her previous master, but not Kuzuki. You know, that was, you know, a question that some people might have been wondering. You know, if the relationship is that solid, why would she kill him? But it was because the master she killed wasn't Kuzuki. She actually does quite like Soichiro, who is pretty much her savior. But even that's not going well. No, she decides that nothing she does goes well. Oh my god, just like Rin. Her master won't be happy even if she does a thing like this. He has not made any interest in the Holy Grail from the start. If he had a clear wish, she would do her best to grant it, but Soichiro Kuzuki has none. A one-sided relationship. They do not get along well. Oh, they don't, huh? Even the fact that the relationship is like that shows that things aren't going well. Oh, he's talking shit. Yeah, that's how it feels to be my master. I'm not gonna stop talking shit. He turns to the intruder. Is not her master standing there? Is the knight in a red cloak, Archer, whose identity is still unknown.
Archer. あなたには外の見張りを任せたはずですが。
ああ、それがな、ざっと見たところ、周囲に敵という敵がいない。退屈を持て余してね、中の様子を見に来たのだ。
I told you to do this thing. Yeah, I was doing it until I didn't feel like it.
それはそうでしょうね。私たちの敵はバーサーカーだけよ。それもセイバーさえ陥落すれば、こちらから撃って出るだけ。あなたが私たちに寝返った時点で、もう敵なんていないのよ。
You know, when you think about it, if we were to believe Caster that she killed Kirei, which it seems like it's not confirmed because she never checked Kirei's pulse. If we assume that was correct, then like Caster's probably gone by now. I mean, sorry, Lancer's probably gone by now because, you know, Lancer is Kirei's servant. But we didn't really know that. I mean, nobody here knows that at the moment. But yeah, it's hard to say.
あなたもそれが分かっていたからこそこちらに着いたのではなくて。
さて、どうかな。私はあのマスターと契約を切りたかっただけとは思わないか。あのマスター以外なら契約者は誰でもよかったと。
My master just wouldn't listen to me, kept teaming up with this stupid ginger. Archer's frivolous talk has some truth in it. But what does that mean? Does that mean that Archer had no intention of betraying, but betray his own master only because he wanted to break his contract with Rin Tosaka?
そう。小娘のおもりはごめんということ。確かに私たちサーバントは総じてマスターに不満を持つわ。あなたが愛想を尽かすのも当然でしょうね。
Servants are generally unsatisfied towards their master. I guess it's because they're so much stronger and maybe they feel disrespected, especially someone like Media whose master was basically abusive. When you think about all the masters, so Lancer didn't like Kirei because Kirei was preventing him from actually fighting. Saber actually ended up liking Shirou quite a bit actually, so that's kind of that might be the exception, though there was romance involved, there was a clash of ideals, there are some negatives, but definitely more positives in their relationship. Archer and Rin had a pretty good relationship for most of it, but now it's, you know, betrayal. Caster, I mean, we already talked about Caster, but at the moment, it's not too bad with Kuzuki. Ryder has Shinji, so I'm not going to talk about it because it's already obvious. Assassin doesn't like Caster because Caster is kind of a dick to him. And Berserker, I think Berserker actually is quite fond of Ilya, even though sometimes Ilya is a little bit like verbally abusive towards Berserker. Berserker and Ilya have quite a special relationship.
いや、召喚者として彼女は完璧だった。
Oh.
ただ、少しばかり狂いが生じただけだ。
Oh man, it's like... What was that phrase again? Oh yeah, I've calculated everything, but boy am I terrible at math.
それとキャスター、一つ忠告しよう。あらゆるサーバントが君と同じだとは思わないことだ。少なくとも、セイバーとバーサーカーは、
Yeah, there we go.
主に不満を抱いてはいなかった。正しい英雄というものはね、正しい人間にしか刺激できないものなんだ。
There must be something wrong with Rin because I ain't righteous as hell. I'm not righteous at all. But was Ilya considered righteous?
何を今さら。ねじ曲がったマスターだからこそ、ねじ曲がった英霊を呼ぶ。そのようなこと、あなたに言われるまでもないわ。
That's right. The quality of a servant changes depending on the summoner. Summoners with dark shadows in their mind cannot summon heroic spirits who are on the side of light. In that regard, she and Ryder are not heroic spirits. A twisted summoner calls for twisted heroic spirits. Just as Ryder was once a beautiful being, so too was Caster once a pure being. But like we don't know who Ryder is yet because she keeps dying before we find out. It is ironic that the heroic spirits that Caster summoned was a fictional hero.
しかし、考えてみればおかしな話だな。君やライダーは英霊に敵対するものだろう。にもかかわらず、サーバントとして選ばれている。まあ、聖杯には善悪の区別はない。力のある人間霊なら、誰であろうと組み上げるということか。
いいえ、本来そんな英霊としての側面もあるものなんて混ざり物は選ばれない。この戦いがおかしくなったのは3度目からよ。それまでは私やライダーのような英霊は呼ばれなかった。
The third war... I forgot which war this is. That does not concern her now. She is also not interested in the true nature of the Holy Grail. Her mission as a servant that goes to by Caster is only to win this war. She's not interested in what comes after. No, to be honest, that is not the end she wishes for.
無駄話はここまでよ、あーちゃん。
You know, I kind of forgot, but like, we think back to like the thing that she was mentioning before, how her relationship with Kuzuki is kind of complicated. Is it like it's a one-sided relationship? I think she actually really adores Kuzuki, but she can't read him. She doesn't know if it's reciprocal. He's just kind of cooperating. And then you kind of flash back to that one Tiger Dojo where she's like, I'm trying my hard as his housewife. I'm doing my best to do all this thing for my hubby, but I don't know if he actually respects me or like likes me or like anything. And then Tiger's like, you know, I think you might be the problem. She's like, oh my god, even you think that. Oh.
持ち場に戻りなさい。
That might be actually kind of
あなた
true.
が何を考えているかはどうでもいいわ。あなたはすでに私のサーバント。その命は私の手の中にある。
了解した。では、従順なサーバントらしく、主の期待に応えるとしよう。
The knight in red goes up the stairs with an unchanging tone of voice. He watches him in silence and takes a deep sigh. One more day until Saber surrenders. One more day. She has not been able to find the Holy Grail as of yet, but she will be one step closer to the end once Saber joins her ranks. What will happen once the war ends? Caster shall make every wish come true with that power. Continuing to live as a witch, just as she swore to when she was alive, wouldn't be so bad. But there will be no reason once the war ends. Even if she has the will, her owner will have no reason to be her master anymore.
あと少しで聖杯はこの手に収まる。
Caster extends her pale hand into the empty space. Her long and hard work is about to be rewarded, but her expression is like that of a criminal who is about to be executed. New servant data added. I do have like a question, and I actually did end up looking this up. Interlude out, by the way. I always kind of wondered why did Caster put Saber in that pose in that outfit? I ended up looking up a reason, and it's due to the fact that she is Medea, and how she sees Saber in she wants to put Saber in a similar position where she was, you know, once this pure innocent person, and then she is being, you know, white being the color for pure, and she has to basically go through this while go through this torture while kind of like losing that. I think that was what I saw. I'm not 100% sure, but it is kind of weird. But let's look at the servant information. I think it's gonna be Caster. Yep, we finally have her name, Medea. No phantasm. Breaker. All spells must be broken. I think we already saw this, but it is cool to finally get a look at that. Do we actually know Berserker? Nope. Even though we know he's Hercules, it's not updated. I saw many corpses. I died at the time and was reborn. I don't have repentance about the path I took. My eyes lost their hatred. My hands lost their anger. My feet lost their hope. And I lost myself there. I lost everything. It's not because I gave up that I accepted that nothing would be saved. I just found out that's natural. It's just that dying people will die and survivors will survive. As I laid down on the mountain of rubble and gazed at the spreading ruins, I understood everything then. I thought I understood everything, but I still thought about it. If I can save everything here, how wonderful that would be. Alright, back to waking up. Oh, never mind. That is what I admired. I just thought that it would be nice if no one had to suffer. I tried to become a hero of justice for that sake. It was easy to understand. It seemed like the ideal way to live. That's what I aimed for. I can see where I had to be, and there are many ways to get there. I just kept running, wanting to get as close as possible, even though I didn't know what was right or wrong. Many paths that I took were crooked, and my destination was only getting further away. I'm taking the long way. I have been repeating this for 10 years since I got saved by Kiritsugu, but I won't regret it. I'm not skilled like Tosaka. I'll take the wrong path and lose many things at times, but I can't disregard them as meaningless. I have to show meaning for why I survived for the sake of the things that I have trampled over and things that won't come back. I won't lose for that sake. I won't lose! Can't be helped if I lose against others. But I can win against myself. I can always resist against my mind that says to give up. That's all I swore upon. There's only one thing that I believe in and wanted to believe in. He wants to believe in himself. He can't lose himself. He has to keep going, believe in his beliefs. Yes. Even if I'm walking down the wrong path, I will not regret believing in it. That's pretty strong, actually. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like a clock. I'm awake by the light pouring in from the outside. It's before 6 a.m. The sky outside the window is cloudy, as if sprinkled with ashes. We haven't heard this song in a while. I get ready and leave my room. My body's in good condition, and there isn't much pain in my wound anymore. I shouldn't be a burden to Tosaka like this, even if we're to engage in battle. Go to Tosaka's room and look at her. Oh, she's got glasses! Look, she's got glasses! Are you ready? Oh, my heart. No, I'm not ready. Why is it hurting so much? I'm ready, but... Tosaka has transformed! I didn't notice that you wore contacts all this time. I don't, these are fake prescriptions! Well, I guess that's fine if she says so. I wonder what kind of magecraft this is to make it look so wrong, yet so right. Oh my god. The glasses with this hand that makes it seem like, actually works really well. We're about to get lost. I nod silently. Our destination is the Einsburn Villa that is said to be somewhere in that forest. That girl, our fate stay night, is decided the moment our negotiation with Ilya breaks down and we end up fighting. We can't call for help and it'll be difficult to run away. We can't escape from the forest alive if we don't defeat that giant, Berserker. Really thinking of defeating? I don't think you can defeat that giant. Yeah, villa is really deep in the mountains. I remember they're like, yeah, we gotta run for like 4 hours.
とりあえず国道までは車を使うからタクシー代用意しといて。
Get some money because I have none. He picks up a Boston bag full of things and starts walking. Is a Boston bag a phrase? I didn't realize. I go after her with my bamboo sword bag in one hand. But Tosaka, money for the taxi is fine, but does that mean we'll be walking on the way back home? Don't complain. You're fit enough. We ride the taxi for an hour from town. Oh my god, a 1-hour taxi? Yeah. We ride on the endless highway, passing several mountains, and reach the entrance by the forest. Or of the forest. Of course, there's no paved roads in the forest. We walk about 1 kilometer from the highway and finally reach the entrance to the forest. I knew that wasn't going to be easy, but I can't help but get nervous once I actually face it. The forest is dark, even though it's daytime. The tall branches that cover the sky shut out the sunlight, and it's hard to see more than 10 meters ahead, let alone the end of the forest.
ちょっとシロ悪いけど先に進んでみてくれない？
I want you to take all the traps.
いいけど、あの子の居場所を知ってるのは遠坂なんだろ？俺が先に行っても仕方がないと思うわ。
I complain as I enter the forest. Then... Alright, you triggered trap number 1. Thanks, Shirou. I pull back my foot reflectively. I only felt numb for an instant. The numbness itself is subtle, and it hurts way more to stub your toe on a dresser. Ah! The edge of a table. Ah! A Lego. Ah! Well, it's basically like a static shock.
やっぱり識別だけだろうけど森全体に管理が行き届いてるみたいね。
ね、ちょっと待て。
Ain't that bad?
それまずいんじゃないのか。要するに防犯ベルに引っかかったってことだろ。なら
別に問題ないんじゃない？私たちは奇襲に来たわけじゃないもの。話し合いに来たんだから、むしろ今からアピールしておいた方が得でしょ？
Just think of it as our way of knocking, but instead of knocking a door like a door, you're knocking straight into a taser and you get that little electric shock.
あ、一応気をつけろよ。ちょっとビリッとくるから。
Oh, I remember this from the anime.
シロの見てたからどんなものか分かってるって。
Tosaka waves her hand and steps into the forest. At that moment, boom! Tosaka lets out a funny scream and jumps back. Oh man, she must really not like you. That was actually a taser. I hear crackling electricity. I want to believe that's my imagination, that the leaves piled under Tosaka's feet are scorched.
個人差がある警報みたいだな。俺には挨拶程度だったけど。
I calmly explain the situation. Okay, yeah, that's not my fault. I did as you said. It was really cute in the anime. But it doesn't seem like Tosaka's listening to me.
やってくれるじゃないあのガキ。今笑ったの確かに聞こえたんだから。
You heard her? Tosaka yells at the empty space where there isn't anyone. Tosaka, I think you're talking to yourself. This is concerning. Do you want to see a doctor or a psychiatrist? I don't know where that line went, as her threatening attitude seems like she might actually go to fight instead of talk. Well, anyways, it seems like talking bad about Tosaka is fatal, no matter how far away you are from her. So I should be careful. She's like, I have this fifth sense for this. The sixth sense. I know when someone's talking shit about me. You know how people sneeze when that happens? I feel an electric shock that seems like it comes from Zeus. Speaking of Zeus, Hercules, where are you? We walk through the forest. We're the only living humans amongst these infinite trees. This is the same CG as the forest. I feel like this is actually a different POV. Different time of day too. Actually, in the other routes, was this when we actually confronted... No! We actually confronted Berserker the day before, so the weather's slightly different. Cool! Anyways, I don't hear the breathing of any beasts, and the plants in the winter are as lifeless as corpses. The endless sea of trees that seem to go on forever makes me constantly feel apprehension. It's already been 3 hours since we entered the forest. It's way past noon and I just have become unable to tell whether there have been any changes in the landscape.
見つけた。
Okay, so it took 3 hours, not 4. I guess 4 if you count the taxi ride.
聞いてはいたけど呆れたわ。本気でこんなところにあんなものを建てるなんて。
I follow Tosaka's line of sight. There's only darkness ahead. Between the trees, there's something incredibly out of place. There is some incredibly out of place thing that can be seen through the cracks that are so small they can easily be missed by anyone who doesn't pay close attention.
なんだあれ。
This is the border. You need your passport and ID in order to pass.
壁よ。まったくどうかしてるわ。あれ、自分たちの国から丸ごと持ってきたものよ。
Osaka curses and heads to the strange object we see in the distance. I follow after her, still bewildered, unable to grasp what it is. We get out of the forest. The forest that seems to be endless abruptly ends. Nah, it seems that the traces of the forest vanish, as if they're carved out just this part with a big spoon. Wait. So did someone break in, or was it already like really damaged? The gray sky curving above us is so high that I can't see anything. A huge dome-like space. This is more like an underground kingdom instead of an open space. Nope, that is what it looks like. Oh man, yeah, that villa looks very out of place with what the wall looks like. It looks like someone like pasted it on top of the wall. It looks really weird. This was Ilya's Field's dwelling. The old castle built in the middle of the forest. It is a solitary castle in the forest that has no visitors. It's too big for the girl to live in, and it's too lonely to live in alone. Anyway, it does no good to falter here. According to Tosaka, Ilya's Field knows that we came here. Then we should go confidently from the front entrance to show that we don't have any enmity.
よし、行くぞ、トーサカ。ってトーサカ？
And then, I'm just imagining she steps in, another lightning bolt, and then along came Zeus. He heard the thunderbolts. Osaka looks up at the castle with an alarming expression. Her side profile looks as tense as it does when she's confronting an enemy.
トーサカ、気になるもんでもあったのか？
I sense something super wrong.
私たち以外に誰かいる。
そりゃいるだろう。イリアってことバーサーカーの住処なんだから。
And her maids, the one that Shirou actually saw that one time, but I think I reloaded.
そうじゃなくて、それ以外の誰かってことよ。シロ。
ちょっとお前。
We gotta be sneaky, even though we're here for negotiations. Without a chance to stop her, Tosaka starts running to the big tree by the wall. No, that's not all. Tosaka grabs onto a branch and skillfully climbs it. I look up in astonishment. Tosaka looks around the castle and she jumps and kicks the castle's second floor. A shattering sound. A window breaks and the red figure disappears into the castle. Well, I guess we're doing this then.
ほら早く。本気でおかしいわよ、この城。
もう話し合いをするんじゃなかったのかよ。
What's done is done. I also climb the tree and jump into the second floor of the castle like Tosaka. I go out to the hallway from the room where we invaded. Oh, we hear fighting noises. Before I can even marvel at how magnificent this place is, the abnormality Tosaka mentioned earlier grabs my attention. The sound echoing is definitely the sound of battle. The sound of swords clashing. But is a storm-like sword fight like this even possible? Even the most intense sword fight that I've witnessed so far, the ones between Saber and Berserker don't make these kind of sounds. Then I suddenly realize, it doesn't sound like your average sword fight. This is a one against many. There is literally a war going on somewhere in this castle. There's no doubt that one of them is Berserker. This is Ilias Field's castle. If a battle were to occur, it would only be when Berserker is attacking an intruder. I start running. The sounds are echoing from below. Judging from where the sounds are coming from, relatively to our entry point, the battle is in the center of the castle, in the reception hall. I run through the unfamiliar castle. This isn't the time to be exchanging opinions. I don't know what's happening, but it feels like it will lead to permanent consequences. I think this is probably one of the most iconic scenes in UBW. Or definitely one of the most memorable. I run down the stairs. The fierce sword fight is happening close by.
閉めた。ここ、広間の吹き抜けに繋がってる。
Osaka checks the end of the passage. The hallway splits at a T-junction, and both seem to lead to the terrace at either side of the hall.
ここで別れましょう。私はこっちから様子を見るから、シロはそっちからお願い。
It's better to split up than to stay together in one place. But the way we are now, we don't have any way to escape if we are found. We don't stand a chance either way. So, we'll split up. If we split up, even if one was found, there's hope that the other can manage to escape somehow. Let's split up, gang! Osaka goes down the hallway facing the east. I nod and go down the other hallway on the other side facing west.
シロ、
She suddenly stops me.
分かってるわね。何が起きようと絶対に手は出さないで。今
Don't
の
do
私たち
anything.
に戦う手段はない。
Don't do anything, Shirou.
いい？やばいと思ったらすぐに逃げるのよ。どちらかが捕まっても構わず走って。誰かを助けるなんて、まず自分を助けてから考えることなんだから。
Her voice is suppressing her emotions. The sound is more like a plea than a warning. I go around and come out into the entrance of the terrace of the lobby. Wow, it is super beaten, kind of like when Berserker fought Archer. I see Tosaka emerge from the opposite side of the terrace far away. She immediately takes cover and peeks out to see what's going on while hiding. The instant we look down at the hallway, we both suppress our voice.
なんだってあいつこんなところに。
I'm just here. Shinji stands atop the rubble in the corner of the lobby, observing the spectacle with joy. Nope, that's not it. That's not the surprising thing. Right now, the truth that I have to accept right now is the battle that Shinji is observing. Berserker! The black giant lets out a roar. The swinging axe sword stirs up a cloud of dust and crushes the rubble into powder. Berserker is no different than before. No, his blood-curdling roar doesn't compare to what it sounded like before. But Ilya is nervous. Behind the giant is a pale white girl, Berserker's master, Ilya Svil. That girl was always smiling innocently and unfit for a kill fest. That girl is now shivering and staring at her own servant, about to cry. Her pale face is desperately trying to deny the despair in front of her. Somebody help me! That's what the trembling lips of the snow-white girl seem to say. A whirlwind blows violently. Berserker's axe sword is repelled each time. In the center of the hall, by the noble phantasm of one servant reigning the throne of rubble. Yep, it's Gil, motherfucker. Well, I was just about to say, yeah, the last time this area was this decimated, Berserker was fighting Archer. And once again, he is fighting Archer. The countless number of swords dance. We actually saw this scene in the opening movie. Each one of the weapons appearing behind the man is undeniably a fatal weapon. If you were to ever think like, who the strongest servant in this Holy Grail war is, out of the ones summoned, it's probably Berserker. But out of all the servants present, is probably Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is kind of broken, and a lot of it is due to how vast his arsenal is. But I remember when I was watching the original Fate Stay Night 2006 anime, I really was wondering, like, wait, we saw Gil, you know, kind of what's the right word, dominate near the end of the game, but Berserker was dominating the majority of the game. He was only able to be taken down after like a lot. After we kind of gained upon him and had like that Deus Ex Machina moment. But I was always kind of wondering, how would Gilgamesh fare against Berserker, and now we get to see. They pierce through. Like hot water, the bottomless noble phantasm destroys Berserker's body, as if repelling his axe sword wasn't already enough. His limbs fly off. Ooh. The swords cut through his body, penetrate his head, and pierce his heart. But he still does not die. The giant revives after each instantaneous death that he suffers, and resolutely advances towards his enemy. 8 times already, Berserker moves forward while being killed mercilessly that many times. That enemy welcomes him with a smile. The repeated tragedy. Berserker is killed many times, unable to get close to his enemy.
Fuck.
It's not because Berserker is being defeated without being able to do anything. That servant is beyond belief. All the noble phantasms are repeatedly, infinitely are real. I can tell since I have projected archer swords. Those are the original versions of every noble phantasms, the ones from before they became legends. Who could he be, being a heroic spirit who is able to retain so many weapons? No, first of all, there should be 7 servants. But he's the 8th one. Is he the one who shouldn't exist? I can't breathe. Berserker is nothing less than astounding. A body made out of steel and that superhuman strength. On top of that, he can regenerate on the spot even if he dies. He's not an opponent that can be matched. The 8th servant that doesn't retreat from such a monstrous opponent and overwhelms Berserker with the repeated magic swords and holy swords. When I look up, Tosaka's face on the other side was also pale. It's only natural. The space below us is a land of death. We'll die instantly if we enter it. No, more than that. He is a demon. A different atrocity than Berserker. The man lacks order and wishes for battle, only for the objective of killing. Man, he's... What a coy motherfucker, still got his hands in his pocket because he doesn't actually need to use his sword. But, even with such an unusual enemy in front of him, the Black Giant is still the strongest. He's the strongest! His steps don't cease, even if his whole body is pierced or cut up. He receives the rain of noble phantasms, regenerates each time, and surely closes in on his enemy. It is an advance devoid of tactics. He is not thinking of any ways of countering his enemy's attacks. He moves forward as long as he is alive. It is a savage battle about just killing the enemy. He will not reach the enemy. Berserker's brute courage will prove futile, and his life will end just as a mere target. That enemy understands that. That's why he stopped on purpose and is just provoking the giant that foolishly moves forward. Damn it! Because of his madness enhancement, he can't think straight. There's no chance of victory for the Black Giant with this method. It's something that the man confronting him and I, looking at it as an outsider, can tell. And most likely, even Berserker himself, who's being used for target practice, must have realized the same thing a while back. Yet, the giant keeps stupidly moving forward. He knows no retreat and doesn't try to avoid the attacks. That man welcomes the figure with a smile.
所詮はバーサーカー戦うだけのものであったが同じ半身として期待していたが今日もやそこまでアホとはな
He's like, hello there, fellow demigod. The noble phantasms appear. Roaring with laughter, the man commands the noble phantasms behind him.
ではそろそろ引導を渡してやろうこれ以上近づかれては暑苦しい
Whoosh! At a signal, the numerous noble phantasms attack the giants. The giant repels the majority of them, and at the same time, a majority of them take his life. The Black Giant shakes. The body of the rock starts to fall, but he's just gonna flex that shit off. The giant holds out and shakes off the noble phantasms clinging all over his body. The astonishment comes from that man. The Black Giant gets rid of the swarm of noble phantasms and closes in on the enemy. His body is already a corpse. The Black Giant advances with what should be a hopelessly fatal wound. That is a result of a strong will. It is not the madness due to being Berserker. The giant is facing this hopeless battle with a strong will.
でかいだけの的が未だ形をとどめるか
The magic bullets are fired mercilessly. Repelling them with his axe sword, the giant closes in on the man with his body slashed and his legs pierced. He most likely won't reach the man. Yet for him to still challenge himself while understanding that, he must have something that he cannot give up. What is he moving forward for? The servant fights for his master, to protect her life. That is why the giant did not retreat. Aww. Yeah, Berserker is actually quite fond of Ilya. He's trying his best to protect her. He could only move forward as a shield to protect his master behind him, the frightened girl from the reign of noble phantasms. The giant resumes his foolish advancement. It is because he knew that he could only defeat the enemy while protecting Ilya's field by taking all the attacks himself. And if he's able to reach his enemies, then that is where he wins. It was a kind of battle from the start. The man has to kill the Black Giant before he reaches him, and the giant has to approach the man before his life ends. This is a battle where whoever accomplishes their goal first survives. The giant is aware of that, even if that is a battle that he has no chance of winning from the start. He lets out a roar, the same soundbite roar every time. Coming out from his 10th death, the Black Giant runs. He charges towards the man, stirring up rubble like a bull challenging a matador. Numerous arrows are released. Did he get used to it from the repeated deaths, or was it his final charge? The giant repels all the arrows and closes in on the owner of the noble phantasm. The axe sword is swung. The strong sword that had not been swung at the man at all zips through the air with a flash.
天の鎖よ
The chains of heaven. The black bull is captured by numerous chains that appear. Oh, bullshit! Look at him. He can't move. I didn't know you were into this shit, Gilgamesh. What kind of noble phantasm is it? The chain that suddenly appears in midair locks up Berserker as if binding space itself. The chain tightens Berserker's arms and twists them in every direction. As the chains wrap around his whole body, they continue to get tighter and even try to squeeze his rock-like neck with tension. Sorry, try to squeeze his neck off.
かつて天の王子すら束縛した鎖だがお前を仕留めるには至らぬらしい
The man's voice. The hall is filled with the creaking sounds of the chains. It must be Berserker's strength. The giant tries to cut off the chains that control space itself. Even if it initially sounds impossible, there's no doubt that the giant can accomplish it. And of course, the man understands that as well. The girl screams. Iliasfeel uses command spell to command Berserker to retreat by force. But the giant is still captured by the chains and unable to move an inch.
私の中に帰れって言ったのにどうして
無駄だ人形この鎖につながれた者はたとえ神であろうと逃れることはできんいいな神性が高ければ高いほど餌食となるもとより神を律するためだけに作られたもの霊樹による空間転移などこの俺が許すものか
It is actually kind of a funny noble phantasm. He calls these the chain of heaven, and it basically restricts servants, and the more divinity they have, the more it actually like locks them up in place, the stronger they become. But I'm not sure if this has actually been proven. I think it's actually shown in Carnival Phantasm once. But if he actually uses it against someone who has like 0 divinity, they can actually get out of it pretty easily. So like if you were to use it on like a human like Shirou, they might be able to like actually break the chains. But against someone like Berserker who's a demigod, it's like, ooh yeah, no, these are gonna be quite snug on you. And then the man points to the giant as if to signal the end. An astonished girl's voice. It's over. This time, it really ends. The pieces fall off. Bounded by chains and therefore unable to defend himself, he gets annihilated by the noble phantasms 22 times. The black giant goes silent as he is forced to assume the shape of what can only be described as a strange statue. There's no need to even check whether he's breathing or not. Even if he's a great hero that overcame 10 deaths, he should not be able to get back after experiencing over 20. Yes. Even if he's alive, the giant should not have enough strength to even breathe. And the battle ends. It was known from the start who was going to win. Berserker could not win against that servant. No servant can be a match for that man as long as they are a heroic spirit. Heroic spirits each have their own weaknesses, which have been preserved for their time as a living being. By extension, each servant's origin story is their weakest point. Then, what would be the result of having a heroic spirit face off against someone who possesses all the noble phantasms, including the one that ended their life as a human? It's like, I have an arsenal of all the weapons on the earth, or at least the blueprints for them, so one of these will be your weakness. This is the result. Even if he may have been stronger as a hero, he cannot win against that man as long as he is a heroic spirit. The ghostly white girl runs to the black giant that became a corpse, and the man mercilessly slashes the girl with the sword in hand. Ooh, that was quite a scream. I don't think that's a ... right there. She screams. The man takes away the girl's vision with a single horizontal strike. For the next attack, the aim is to stab her heart. But that misses. Nope, he missed on purpose. The girl is pierced in the lung as she coughs up blood. Chains are broken. He's not dead yet, and he has red text. The black giant breaks the chains and launches an attack on the man. The man stabs a slow-witted target. The spear pierces his heart. Oh, that's a gay Bolg animation. He finishes off the giant with a spear similar to Lancer's noble phantasm, Gay Bolg. Then it ends. The black giant dies for sure this time. The sword is pulled out from the collapsed girl, leaving traces of red behind. The girl crawls to the giant that is no longer moving. Watching in delight, the man walks forward. He threw away his sword. He'll use his bare hands to finish off the dying girl. New servant data added. So at the moment, we have extra archer. We don't know who he is, but we know some stats of his. Oh, you have Gate of Babylon, but we don't have the Chains of Heaven here. I'll die. I'll probably die. I'll die for sure this time. That servant has no logic. He'll kill anyone in his way. If I don't get away from here before he finds me, I'll surely be killed. So we have a choice. Restrain myself. Stop that man! You know, I'm actually not sure which one's the right option here. I kind of forgot. I'm pretty sure in the anime he tries to stop the man and then something stops him. But I want to try restrain myself first. I might actually look at the guide for this. Oh, okay, so there's actually something that interesting that might happen if I do restrain myself first. So I'll go do that. I restrain my body that wants to jump out. I see Tosaka biting her lip in the corner of my eye. I know. It's obvious Tosaka wants to stop him as well. But we'll be the ones killed if we do so. There's no way we can stop him. The man's arm reaches out to the girl in white. Can't breathe. My feet are on fire from wanting to jump out. And my arms want to fly out over the terrace. My body is shaking like it's broken and tries to go against my brain's orders. It's as if my heart is shattered. Even then, I suppress my voice and kill my will. I let the girl die as if killing myself. Oh, whoa. That CG. Ugh. And then it ends. The man pulls something out of the girl's body with his bare hands, and with a smile still on his face. A red dripping object that looks like a fruit. I mean, I guess it could look like a fruit. The thing in the man's hand is without a doubt the girl in white's. My mind burns down. The mind that has gone white is making my whole body shake with uncontrollable anger.
ほう、先ほどから悪臭がしていたが、そうか。盗み見をする不届き者がいたか。
We rarely get to see him in this POV. I will say, Gilgamesh from this art style looks kind of weird. His shoulders are a lot more broad than I expected, but he also looks kind of short as a result. The man still holding the red thing in his hand.
無礼者。雑種の分際で、俺の姿を直視するな。
He fires one of his countless noble phantasms at me. Well, fuck. The terrace falls. The man's noble phantasm goes through the wall of the castle and destroys the wall's halls. Sorry, the hall's walls. Oh, no. And I'm on one of those rocks. I don't move a step in the midst of it all. I don't care about the rubble that falls from above. I don't have the composure to run, and I have no intention to run. It doesn't matter whether a big piece of rubble grazes my back. I can't think of taking my eyes off of that man right now.
ほう。
Oh.
何かと思えば、セイバーのマスターとはな。
Oh, so he actually knows. Well, former master. His red eyes react to my enmity. Enmity. Sorry. I always mess up that word. My blood boils. I'll die in the next instant. There's no way I'm not afraid of that. But my body refuses to run away and keeps screaming to defeat that enemy right now. The corpse of the girl that was killed mercilessly keeps ordering me not to forgive him. It's only natural for me to lose all reasoning. My mind churns from the contradicting desires of life and death.
戦う意志はあるようだが、話にならん。肝心のセイバーがいないのでは、貴様などに価値はない。
Come back when you have my waifu. A sword appears in the man's left hand. The sword is raised mercilessly and should come down to kill me. Even then, I keep staring at the enemy. I can't think of showing my back to that man.
ちょっと待てよ。そいつさ、僕の知り合いなんだよね。
Hello, my best friend. The man's sword stops. Shinji, who is watching from the other side of the wall, starts walking to the center of the hall with light steps. I bet he didn't even notice.
よう、久しぶりだな、エミヤ。 こんなところで会うとは思わなかったんでね、少しばかり驚いたよ。
I think this is the first instance of a master getting another servant after their initial servant died. The man doesn't move. There's about 10 meters between us. Would I be able to get near him? Even Berserker couldn't close this distance.
なんだ、ブルって声も出ないのか？まあ、気持ちはわからないでもないよ。僕もライダーの時はそうだった。ああ、そうだったそうだった。いや、あの時は見逃してもらって助かったよ、エミヤ。
We should have just killed the fucker, man. There's nothing I can use as a weapon, but I don't care. My mind is clear right now. I don't feel any uneasiness about projecting his swords in this situation.
おい、僕がこっちを見ろって言ってるんだ。
Man, Gil's eyes are kind of like bulging. It's like, I'm looking at you. I slightly shift my gaze in his direction. I face Shinji while keeping the man in my vision.
そうだよ。分かってるじゃんか。今ここで一番誰が偉いのかってことがさ。
Yeah, and I was looking at him until you interrupted me. Anyways, I gasp a little. It's not Shinji's words, but rather the unexpected serious manner in which he says them.
そういうことだ。なら分かってるよな、エミヤ。お前、このままじゃ確実に死ぬよ。
How out of place. Why say something that's so obvious now?
紹介が遅れたが、そいつは僕の新しいサーバントでね。ライダーなんかよりすごいだろ。
Shinji puts his hand over the man's shoulder with a delighted face.
命乞いしろよ、エミヤ。少しは考えてやってもいいぜ。
He says some nonsense.
断る。
Nope. No choice. Just fuck you, Shinji. I have no doubt. I answer right away without showing any hesitation or showing any sign of even considering it.
そうかよ。それじゃあ死んじゃえよ。
You can die, Baka. Shinji jumps back. The man, still with a cold expression, finally brings his raised sword down.
そこまでよ。そこのサーバント。指一本でも動かせば、
Hey,
マスターの命は
Tosaka.
保証しないわ。
And the man stops his sword again. Who keeps interrupting me? Everyone looks up. Everyone in the hall turns their attention to the girl standing at the entrance. Tosaka's hand is faced towards Shinji. Even though Shinji doesn't have the aptitude as a mage, he should know what that means. Tosaka is serious. If that man brings down his sword, she will kill Shinji as a retaliation.
遠坂。お前までなんでこ
He
こ
had
に。
no idea. Tosaka doesn't answer, but just keeps her aim aligned on Shinji.
なんだよ、お前。本気で僕を撃とうってんか。この人殺し。
Oh man, literally, he was just about to tell Archie to kill someone, and he's like, oh my god, you murderer!
殺したのはそっちが先でしょう。もっとも、どうであれこっちの気は変わらないわ。シンジ、殺す権利と殺される権利は同じよ。そんなこと、人間なら魔術師じゃなくても本能で理解なさい。
Shinji weakly retreats, being glared down by Tosaka. At that, the guy watches in delight. He looks at Tosaka as if to belittle her. And then, I feel like there was a strange vibration that took over the hall in an instant.
なるほど。俺の打倒はできぬと悟り、マスターを狙ったか。交渉を持ちかけたのは、マスターを殺したところで、俺が止まらぬと判断したからだ。
そうよ。シンジが死んだくらいじゃ、あんたは止まりそうにない。けど、この状況なら考えてもいいでしょ。今ならシンジを救えるもの。あんただってサーバントなら、マスターを失うのは痛手のはずよ。
なるほどなるほど。なかなかの起点だ。そこの雑種を助けたいのならば、その交渉しかありえまい。
Sword disappears. He turns his back to me as if he's lost interest in me. He's like, why bother messing with this little mongrel? I might as well save my master.
お前、何のつもりだ。誰が止めろって言ったんだよ。
いや、状況が変わったぞ、シンジ。
A vessel?
彼女ならば、器としては文句なしだ。
Shinji's breath stops. His face was filled with irritation, suddenly turns into a dirty smile. Oh no.
そうか。いや、嬉しいよ父さんが。君がまだ生きていてくれて。
I mean, if you're talking about a vessel for the Holy Grail, why did you kill Ilya? You already took care of Berserker. She's meant to be the vessel, right?
そう一応私もホッとしたわ。あんたみたいなのでの付き合いは長いからね。どこかで死なれてたら気落ちするわ。
Laughing happily, Shinji claps his hands. It's strange. Shinji shows no fear even though Tosaka can end his life. It seems like an overwhelming joy is numbing his emotion.
まあいい。それよりどうだ父さんが。エミヤなんてほっといてさ。僕たちと手を組まないか。
You can't do that because she doesn't not hate us. Oh, wait, was it? I don't remember.
僕たち
そうだよ。君もキャスターが力を蓄えているのは知ってるだろ。竜道寺は今回の最大なんだ。そこに陣取られて魔力を蓄えられてるので少しばかり不利になる。
This is an interesting negotiation if you think about it, because we're trying to get Berserker on our team in order to beat Caster, but now that Berserker's gone, technically we could try to negotiate with Gilgamesh, but like I don't think we want to. But this is a negotiation where Tosaka has no choice but to bluff her way out, because if she were to agree, Shinji would realize she has nothing to bring to the table because we no longer have Archer or Saber for Shirou. So he would have all the power there and have the option of basically doing whatever he wants with Tosaka because she has nothing to bring. While here, if she's able to bluff her way out, then he won't know. Shinji says with both arms raised. But it's an obvious fact. On top of that, it seems like Shinji doesn't know about how Caster obtained Saber and Archer.
な、わかるだろ。一人でやっても勝ち目は薄いんだ。バーサーカーのマスターは倒したけど、これだけじゃ足りない。父さんが、君がいればキャスターたちにも負けないものが作れるよ。
This does actually beg the question. We were thinking about getting Berserker on our team because Berserker is kind of like a one-man army. It's hard to say whether or not we would have if Berserker could have taken on Caster, Assassin, Archer, and Saber in quotes because Saber is not controlled yet. I mean, actually no. If Berserker were to basically ransack Caster's domain, Caster probably would have used a command seal to bring Saber to her side. So that 1 versus 4, or even if you had Soichiro in it, that 1 versus 5, I wonder how well that would have turned out. But honestly, that probably would have resulted in Berserker's loss because Saber would have a competent master and a lot more firepower. But how would Gilgamesh fare against those 5 servants? Because he's just so overwhelmingly strong. We already saw him like basically one-shot Caster with no effort. And he's probably the one who killed freaking Assassin, probably also with no effort, and Soichiro. And it'd be kind of down to, I guess, down to Archer and Saber. Saber can't beat Gilgamesh without Avalon, which she doesn't have because it's currently in Shirou. And Archer, I mean, yeah, honestly, that's not something we really know because we don't know the full extent of Archer's ability, not even his Noble Phantasm. Shinji invites her with confidence. To that,
お断りよシンジ。あんたが誰と繋がっているかは知らない。
you're being used,
けどね、
bitch.
私から見てもいいように使われているだけのやつについていく道理はないわ。
Osaka refuses him without twitching a brow.
わからない？腐れ縁から忠告するけど、もうちょっと周りを観察する知力を養いなさい。麻藤真司をマスターだと思っているのはあんた一人だけよ。あんたには魔術師としての才能がないっていい加減気がついたら。
Shinji's face twitches. Osaka's harsh words made him forget that his life is in her hands.
やれギルガメッシュ。エミヤも遠坂も皆殺しだ。
So fucking stupid. He just gave away his servant's name. Shinji orders his own servant. No!
なんだよ。やれって言ってるだろ。お前なら僕がやられる前にやるなんて簡単じゃないか。
いや、残念だが時間切れだ。
Oh.
腐ってしまう。
You know how long ago I pulled out this heart? I need to keep this fresh, man. The man shows Shinji, who's closing in on him, the thing in his right hand. A red lump. It's the thing that he took out of the girl. It's still throbbing. Okay, I may have all the weapons in my treasury, but I don't have a fucking freezer. We're gonna have to go home. Shinji grits his teeth in vexation. Shinji runs towards the front entrance. There is one person left. After the man slowly watches his master being angry. Good friend, good friend. That's true, we do have a very good friend. And by that I mean, Shinji, what a good friend you are. He says delightfully and leaves the hall filled with rubble. Oh boy, that was stressful. The sun is setting and the lobby is slowly wrapped in darkness. We came to the castle to find an ally, but the only thing remaining is the ruins of a castle after a turn of events. Yeah, you know, we could stay here because it doesn't seem like Ilya's gonna use the castle anymore. That's the best thing to do if we want to protect ourselves. But we even gained an ally to choose the path to fight because we couldn't do so.
Yeah. 守りを固めたところで無駄だろう。キャスターがセイバーを完全に支配してしまったら、どんなに労働したところで破られる。仮にもしここで生き延びたところで聖杯がキャスターのものになったら、それこそ
私たちだけじゃなく、町の人間もただじゃ済まない。ならやることは一つね。キャスターがセイバーを手に入れる前に取り戻す。キャスターとアーチャーとアサシンとクズキ先生。この4人を私たちで倒す。
By ourselves. Fuck! I nod silently. Actually, I kind of want to take a look at the flowchart. Okay, so, whoa! We go all the way here. Yep. And that's the interesting thing that happens. I nod silently. Since we couldn't get the help of Ilya, we'll have to do this by ourselves. The sun will completely set soon. We'll have to get out of this place before that and attack Castor before Saber surrenders. Whoa, save the game? Okay. Oh, it's actually the next day? February 13. The limited blade works. Night stay nights. Okay. It's a simple plan. The process will change depending on the situation. Our only objective is to confront Castor as a result. Doesn't matter whether that's are we supposed? Okay, so this is one of those situations where I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It's gonna be a bad end because they said it's the next day, but we didn't actually transition. I think we had something similar before, but yeah, that's what happens when you choose to basically be a coward and not run out and confront Gilgamesh. Something ends up happening. I'm not exactly sure what, but you light up a flag that makes it so that you go to this ending. Let's see what it is. It doesn't matter whether that situation is only for an instant. Castor is the weakest servant when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Even if she's maybe a servant, we have a chance at winning if we can fight her 2 against 1. Tosaka's gem and my projection magecraft. It's not a battle we can't win if we make full use of our individual powers. That was the conclusion we reached, and we go out of the forest believing in that. We don't exchange words after that. There's only one reason. We're desperately bluffing so that we can deceive ourselves. Yeah. The sunrise is gray. The sunlight is blocked by the clouds, obscuring the light of dawn. A cloudy sky is above us. The sky that is closer to gray than black reminds me of that time 10 years ago. Is it gonna start raining soon? A dull white sky. That man was standing under the cloudy sky that smelled like it had just stopped raining. Hello. Once again, as expected of a Tosaka plan, things did not turn out the way she wanted it to. Once again, out of her hands, but still. He stares at Tosaka with cool eyes.
悪いわね、あっちゃ。その期待には応えられないわ。私たち見ての通り都市空間だもの。一日考えたけど、なんにも策は思いつかなかったわ。信じられないでしょうけど、 今日は玉砕に来たの。けど少しぐらいの運は残ってたみたいね。あなたがここにいるってことはセイバーはまだキャスターに逆らってるってことだもの。
Then there are 4 opponents. If we break through Archer, the gatekeeper, we can fight Caster and Assassin head on. Our plan is that we broke through Archer together and confront Caster with the 2 of us. Yeah, that's a lie Tosaka made up.
そうか。キャスターとエミヤシロ。天秤はキャスターに傾いたのだな。
Archer's oppressive question.
ええ、自分でも自分の性格が嫌になるけど生まれつきだから変えられなかったみたい。結局ここ一番で私は非人間だった。
Tosaka answers with an emotionless voice and steps forward. Oh, well, I'm gonna die.
アーチャーはあなただけを襲ってくる。フォローはしないわ。私はあなたが殺されている間にキャスターと戦ってみる。
I'll fight Caster and die too. Don't worry, I'll follow soon after you. As if that's a crime, Tosaka apologizes with her pack, as if she was intending to use me as a sacrifice from the start. How stupid of her. You didn't have to say such a thing.
バカ、気にするな。俺だってお前の性格ぐらい分かってる。登坂、勝ち目のないことはしない主義だろ。だから分かっていた。確かにこれぐらいしか勝つ方法はないもんな。
シロ。
Her back that didn't have any hesitation shakes slightly. Oh, that's all the apology I need.
行け！アーチャーは俺が抑える。お前が教会に入るぐらいまでは石でも抑える。
I control my breathing and turn the gears of my engine. Alright, 2 lines. My condition is better than ever. I can project the same swords as him right away in the state.
ありがとう。ごめん、シロ。
Tosaka runs. Archer lets her go as if she was not in his sight from the start.
上出来だ。無能は無能なりに身をわきまえたか。
I know I'm incompetent, come on! He admits his intent to kill, as if to say that he won't let me go this time.
トレス。オン。
I project the twin swords. The match should be made in an instant. The only things in my sight are Archer and Tosaka's back running to the church. Whoosh, I got my swords. It was over in one blow, or was I able to hold out a few times? The battle ends, and I look up at the sky with a limp body. A gray color covers the sky. It should start raining soon. The cloudy sky is closed, and the clouds block my hand like a wall.
登坂。武士に。
Please, be safe. My body's burning. I hear the faint sound of flames from the church. The sun is too far away from my powerless extended hand. The sky that sky was as if I went back in time to 10 years ago. Dead end. We can't do this by ourselves. We're fucked. Tiger Dojo lighthearted hint segment. Roar. Tiger Dojo. What the fuck is that thing in the background? 23. Okay, well it says Basaka in the background. I can't read the kanji.
さて、唐突ではありますが、今回でタイガー道場は第2部最終回である。
Wait, this is the last Tiger Dojo? What? Really? Wait, tell me, I gotta look at this flowchart. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Anyways.
師匠、時間割だと2部はあと1回稽古があるみたいだけど。
Okay, never mind. Ilya spoiled it. Okay, there's like one more.
第24回の言葉言うな。
Okay, yeah, there is at least one more.
あのようなデッドエンドを迎える軟弱者に用はないなり。
I don't know which one that is though. Oh, hi Ilya, I'm glad that you're still alive. Us?
よくわかんないけど、今回が事実上の2部最終回なわけですね。
そうよ。1部最終回では2部からタイガー道場がパワーアップするなんてデマが流れたけど、今回はもう騙されないわ。道場はこのまま。 私と弟子1号だけでつつましく運営される小楽園を維持します。
Oh no, it's that smug face.
何やら反骨の層、この悪魔っ子、また何かよからぬことを企んでいるのではなかろうか。
She's always scheming something.
あら、それは誤解よ。ただ第3部は今までみたいに大河に付き合ってあげられないから寂しい思いをさせるかなって。
Yeah, because I'm dead.
道場に来られないとは、まさかイリアちゃん？
本編で出番が多くなって忙しくなるの。リンルートではこういう結果になったけど、3部こそは私の真骨頂だもの。
I'll be back for Heaven's Feel.
その分大河はますます出番が減るみたいね。
No, I love Tiger.
ご愁傷様。これがヒロイン候補とヒロイン候補にさえなれなかったものとの格の違いよ。まあヒロインになっても友達のままでいてあげるから安心なさい。そうね、私が本編を支配した暁には召使い
Stop trying to make people your servant, Ilya. Stop it. Yeah. Hey.
何するのよ。こっちは善意で言ってあげてるのに。
いらぬ。こんなに苦しいのなら愛などいらぬ。
I don't need this love.
つうか貴様弟子失格。ヒロインになんてなったら眩しくて直視できぬ。出ていけ。
Get out. Get out.
こっちこそ願い下げよう。
All right, so long, Ilya.
そっちから謝っても許さないからね。
Wee.
行っちゃった。
She's gone.
まあこれも運命。
This is Fate's Day
可愛
night.
い弟子がヒロインに返り咲けるというのなら、あえて憎まれ役となるのも死の役目。よし、戦えイリアちゃん。さくらちゃんを蹴落としてヒロインの座を奪うがいいさ。
Go after Sakura. Take over the Heaven's Feel route.
もうこんなところには戻ってくるんじゃないわよ。だって私の出番が減っちゃうからね。けど2部最後のまともな道場が一人っきりっていうのも寂しいな。寂しいけど頑張る。一人でも戦え君、そして私。さて今回のデッドエンドはちょっと特殊です。遠坂さんと四郎だけで戦いを挑むのは無策無謀。
Yep.
勝てるわけがありません。
Yep, that's right.
含むところはあるでしょうが、やってきた協力者と素直にシェイクハンドしちゃいなさい。
We didn't actually get to that part.
そもそも協力者がやってこなかった
Yep,
君。
yep, there we go.
主人公失格。目の前で死にかけてる女の子を助けないでどうする。お城での出来事とその顛末はずっと鳴りを潜めていたある原因を吐露させる大事なエピソードなんだから、必ず通過しないとダメ。
Yeah, come on,
大
man.
阪さんルートはある意味主人公ルートでもあるからね。きっかり問題を解決しちゃいなさい。
Yeah. You know, I'll just talk about it. So, a lot of UBW, for me, never really felt like Tosaka's route. It always felt like Shirou's route instead. And there are definitely a lot of things that go into it, a lot of revelations that happen later in the route. But a lot of that took away from what, like, the spotlight on Tosaka. For Saber, we really got to learn Saber, like learn about Saber, why she's doing this, and kind of get to know her that way. But for Tosaka's route, we get to see the inner workings of Shirou, but not really Tosaka. And that's the problem I've always had with UBW. It's supposed to be a Tosaka route, but it really feels like a Shirou route.
さてこれで今回はおしまいね。遠坂さんルートもいよいよクライ
The
マックス。
climax is
ここからは
here!
デッドエンドのない怒涛の展開が待ってるけど、ここでちょっと朗報オーバー。遠坂さんルートではトゥルーエンド
There are
と
two
グッドエンド
routes.
が用意されて
Whoa!
います。どんなものかは言えないけど、分岐条件はどのくらい一途だったか。オンリーワンか両手に花か、それは戦いが終わってからのお楽しみ。
Is it OTP or OT3? You get to find out after the battle.
それじゃあみんなタイガー道場第3部で待ってるよ。
No, I want to see you again. I'm trying to get all the bad endings. Goodbye. Alright. So yeah, we're supposed to stop the man. Stop him. But I think this is where I'm going to stop for today. We've been recording for over 2 hours and yeah, that was a really big event. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of me always kind of dreads getting through this part because in the anime, what happened to Ilya was pretty brutal. What happened to Berserker was even more brutal, to be honest, but like, ooh, so seeing this giant titan just kind of get erased from the story, whoa, that was quite a surprising thing. And we already knew Gilgamesh was strong, but Gilgamesh was basically one of the perfect counters for Hercules, because Hercules has a few things that make him so goddamn broken. Can we see his skills now? Yeah, we see battle continuation, valor, divinity, yeah, and then whatever this thing is. But the thing is about Berserker is that he has, was it 11 lives? I forgot. 11 or 12 lives, I forgot how many. And the fact that once he regenerates from one method of being killed, he's kind of immune to it. You can kill him like 10 times with it if its attack's strong enough, but once he develops an immunity to that skill to the point where he can't really get damaged by it, which is why he's one of the most difficult servants to fight against, because you have to kill him like many different times. But Gilgamesh has the Chain of Heavens, which makes it so that it's not a way to kill him, but he's able to restrain him. And he has so many noble phantasms that are above rank A, or A rank or above, that he has like an endless arsenal to kill Berserker with. He's never gonna run out of killing methods. And also the other thing that makes Berserker broken is that anything that's lower than rank A is nullified. But because his arsenal has so many things that are rank A or above, he just has, yeah, he's just never gonna run out of ways to kill him. In a way, he has ways to restrain him, and he can attack him from like anywhere. So he's basically the perfect counter for Berserker, which is why he didn't even stand a chance, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, it was brutal. I have heard that, so there are different versions of different servants in different games and media. I have heard that there is a version of Berserker that can actually stand on par with Gilgamesh, and I don't really know much about this IP, so I don't really want to spoil it too much. But it does happen in one of the Fate IPs that I believe as of this right now, it's still actually being written. But yeah, unfortunately, because this time Hercules is a Berserker and is not exactly the best at strategizing in battle or like using his normal other weapons. He is, ironically, despite being extremely threatening, he's kind of nerfed in this one. But yeah, it seems like we're not going to be able to get Berserker as our ally, so there are only a few other choices left. Will it be Gilgamesh? Will it be Lancer? I don't know. Well, I do, but we'll find out together next time, and hopefully be able to save Saber, Archer, I don't know, I'll do whatever needs to be done next time. Until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!